Yeah. So today, so you've probably heard me before, talking a lot about swimming and all that stuff. But today I want to talk about more serious stuff, and that is like and that is the topic of peer pressure. So the idea, so you know how like as in high school, you and your peers are sometimes your peers will tell you to do something or do X, Y, or Z. Even like maybe your good friends might be telling you to do things that either don't make sense to you or like just aren't, or like you believe you want to do it and then you later come up and say like, oh, I'm doing this because my friends all made me want to do it. In college that's like even worse because you got people who seem like they're always doing the wrong thing, and then they kind of are pressuring you to do the wrong thing. But then what happens is that they end up succeeding and you end up like screwed because you fell into their peer pressure. So today we're going to be talking about things that kind of result from this, and like and like my and like the reasons why I think it's honestly kind of bad to fall into them. So let's get started. The first thing that I feel like can result negatively is like skipping class. And you might be like, well, why am I skipping class? Like, bro, I'm going to class, I'm doing all my stuff, and I'm still getting absolutely destroyed by this class. Like, why am I doing this? I have that roommate that guy who literally never shows up. He's always slacking off and playing Brawl Stars till 4 a.m. and still doing well on the exam. Well, here's the problem with that logic. So by skipping class and watching it later, like it's not well. First of all, like you're more likely to do better if you're actually consistently going to class and putting in the effort. The amount of people who like somehow manage to like have bad habits and do well is like a small minority, and most people will have to actually put in the effort to go to class, like because and the other problem with like skipping class is that if you skip the lecture, like you got homeworks, right? That homeworks and like sometimes projects and sometimes labs that kind of depend on the lecture material. And it's like if you don't understand that, then like tell me how you're going to be able to do the assignment, do the task if you don't understand the knowledge. So that's kind of the issue about if you just skip class and say, I'm going to watch it later. And not to mention that you're not going to understand the next lecture if you don't understand the previous lectures. So that just puts you more and more behind. And once you're behind, you literally have to spend like an entire day to catch up. And that's not going to be good for you later on. Not to mention that you're probably not going to be catching up later on when you see that when you're that behind. The other thing I don't get is, sleeping until 12 o'clock or later. Why is there always this habit of people saying, if you sleep a certain amount, you're lazy. If you don't stay up till like 3 a.m., you're lazy. Like, bro, if you're staying up till that late, you're not even like doing. I don't think you're actually even doing work. Like, I swear, if you're staying up that late, you're literally like playing like Brawl Stars or whatever, and not like actually doing work. Like there's no way you can actually be doing work that late. And as a result, well, great. Now half your day is gone because you were up half the night. Now you have to compensate by sleeping through the morning, and and there you go. You've kind of screwed yourself up right there. The other thing that I also don't get that peers will keep telling you is that like if you're like me, I personally like to study and I'm not like a big party goer. Like I'll go to one or two parties, but I can't party like some business people who will literally do it every day. And this just comes down to the fact that college has this kind of perception where people are just like having fun. There's like Louisiana State that literally built a lazy river for people to just float around and all these amenities, which don't contribute at all to your future success. And by excessively partying, you're actually kind of just hurting yourself because one, you're taking time away from studying, and the other problem is that like if you just keep going out to parties, like parties are literally like the source of like a lot of problems. It smells bad. You might get sick. You might get sick. Some of the people there are just exclusive and hella mean. And then like you might also get into like legal trouble, especially if cops come, underage drinking or like you're smoking. Like that's like just absolutely bad. Like why do I want to to get myself into that situation that only like hurts me. That honestly only hurts you, if anything. The other thing that I can't understand is like people overloading themselves. Like, why the hell do you want to do like two or more, like outside in addition to school, do like two or more research positions and TA and do like a part-time internship on top of that? Why in the world do you want to do that? Just because you think I want to make my LinkedIn better and I can show off to every, like, what are you guys doing? Like, does college at this point become a matter of doing well in classes and like learning the material, or does it become a matter of trying to balance as many things as you can in addition to doing well in your classes? Like, what is the purpose of college at this point? If people are going to do this, like, is the purpose like learning the material, or is the purpose making friends, or is the purpose like trying to look as busy as you can? So that's like the one thing I can't understand. And the last thing I maybe can slightly understand is because it might have happened to like all of us a couple times is people doing well on homework and doing bad on exams. Like like literally I will see a homework distribution that goes something like that, and then the exam distribution will be like that. Like, someone explain to me, someone in the world explain to me how people can be getting like doing that well on homework and then like doing this bad and then getting like 40 something on exam. Like, how does that work when, especially when the homework is not much more difficult than the exam? What? What? Just because I had a bad day? Like, just because I have a bad day? Well, if it's happening consistently. That can't happen. Or is it like, oh, the exam's harder because I don't really have much time? Well, bro, you literally like already went through the homework. You should probably like know how to do it. If you're still doing this bad on the exam, then that probably means you don't know the material that well. Or like you either don't know the material, or it's like you just kind of cheated through your homework. Like, of course you don't know stuff. Like, if you actually did your homework properly and got through all of it, you should be getting like close to 100 on the test. And if you're not getting close to 100, then that probably means there's some gaps in your knowledge. Like maybe there might be variation, but like you can't be getting like 50 something and say I know everything. So that's kind of the problem with like, so that kind of wraps up all the things that I don't quite understand about college life. Like like after experience, I learned some things that I just can't understand, and I probably might not understand anywhere in the near future. But like, I hope this kind of gives you an insight of like where I'm coming from and like what, and like maybe you'll learn something when you come into college, because there's a lot of weird things that go on, and like I don't get like why people are like the way they are, but that's kind of life. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed and learned something, and I will see you next time.